Okay, this is Kirk Woodruff, and this is my language cultural contact presentation. So, for the first hour of cultural contact, I listen to Spanish radio. Um, every day, I have about a 10 to 15-minute drive one way to and to and from work. And so during those times, I've listened to Spanish radio. The two stations that I typically listen to are 10.3, which is more of a more modern Spanish pop channel. And there's also the 103.5, which is more of a traditional Spanish music. So on the 100.3, you'll find more contemporary artists like Mena or Enrique Iglesias, um, Shakira, other artists that are, I would say, more in kind of the pop cultural scene. And then on the 103.5, I usually like to me, it's more of the country Spanish, which is known as La Banda. And so it's that type of music is more of the big tubas and the violins and instruments that you hear in a lot of traditional style Spanish music. So those are the two stations that I typically listen to. A few of the things that I picked up on. Few of them I think are slang, like no manches, which is no way. Another thing that I picked up is just one of the songs was Dimension, which is dimension, and also Orale, which is like right on, which I believe is slang. But kind of some of the nuances, kind of like I talked about, the differences between the two channels with the styles of music, and also the you can definitely pick out the accents of different singers, like especially Enrique Iglesias. He doesn't have a traditional like American Spanish accent, but more of a I don't know if it's a Spaniard or from Spain accent, where they have a lot of different accents. I don't pronounce things quite the same way. So that was the first hour that I did. The second hour was a part of where I actually work. So I work for a clinic called the Dora Clinic, which is actually a part of A.T. Still University, which is the dental school here in Mesa, Arizona. The DORA program is the Dental Outreach for Rural Arizona. And we're a mobile clinic. And so throughout the week, we set up our dental clinic and we serve the underprivileged population, seeing patients. And I am the patient coordinator for that clinic. So I spend a lot of time on the phone, talking to patients, coordinating their appointment schedules or rescheduling them, or answering questions about appointments or finance information for them. And we have I'd say it's probably close to maybe 40 to 50% of our patient base is are Spanish speakers. So I do spend a lot of time on the phone talking to patients about a lot of just appointments and what to expect in their appointments that are going to come up and they're going to be seen by the doctor. Something that I picked up on in those type of conversations, a lot of those conversations are very similar in the aspect you were talking about: time, date, directions, where the clinic's at. There's a few times that I get kind of an off-ball question, but one of the things that I learned was word "fíjate," which is like the same as saying like kind of check it out or pay attention to this, or some of the nuances that I found through talking to patients over the phone is it seems like a lot of Hispanic families continue to live together. And what I mean by that is, even kids that are, married with their own kids still live in the same house as their parents. And so it seems like, families continue to, live together, even though maybe the culture here in the United States is, once you turn 18 or get into 20, you usually move out and kind of do your own thing. But in these types of families that I've experienced, it seems like even, it doesn't, even just because you get older doesn't mean you necessarily move out of the house. And even once you get married. So it's kind of one of the nuances that I found. And then the last part is dental assisting. So part of that, the part of what I do is along with patient coordination, I also assist the fourth year dental students at the actual clinics and also the doctors. And I actually spend a lot of time doing this. And so for that reason, I've have down 2 hours worth of interacting with patients. And a lot of times the dental students or even the doctors don't speak Spanish. And so they have me there in the room assisting, but also to translate a lot. Again, kind of like I said, because we do have about half of our patient base are Spanish speakers, which is really, really awesome. I've found that, it really helps out patients just because they feel a lot more comfortable with somebody that actually can speak their language. It helps them relax with the doctor and also the procedures that are going on. And a few things nuance-wise that, I've learned is, Latin people love to talk about their heritage, where they're from, the food that comes from their culture, the countries that they come from. They really have a strong heritage, and they like to talk about it. The other thing that I've also seen is, from my experience, the Hispanic population is very, very appreciative and very humble of the services that we render, but also they're very appreciative to the people that take the time to learn Spanish, so that they are able to communicate with them. And so that's kind of a couple of things that I've learned through the talking with patients in dental assisting. And so those are the three things. It ended up being 4 hours, actually more, but listening to the radio, Spanish radio, talking to patients over the phone, setting appointments, answering questions about dental appointments or things that are coming up on the schedule, and also assisting chairside. So talking with patients about what procedures are going to actually be done. Yeah, so this is my language contact, cultural contact presentation. Thanks.